How can we start to build that comprehension we talked about? Please open up the teaching panel I passed out to the first tab. As you can see, this is sized just like a storybook and has the complete story of our interrupting chicken doing his absolute best to be good. What do you see in the margins? Point of use questions on what look like sticky notes? Sort of like if someone had taken a copy of the book and placed questions on sticky notes at certain important parts of the story. That's the idea here, but it's also been taken one step further. You'll also find correlations to the TEKS and the ELPs on those notes, plus DOK levels. Did you notice the color coding? Well, if you look up here on the screen, we can see the blue notes, like the one you see on the left page of your Teaching Pal, are for guiding collaborative discussions during our first read. There are also purple notes for taking a closer look at sections of the text to apply a reading skill during the close read, and yellow notes giving teaching support. All right there to use as you are reading the story. So here's a great example of how we've invested in you, right? You won't see a Teaching Pal in any other program. Okay, let's spend some time checking out that red note on the right, notice and note. We all know that our new TEKS require students to, quote, use metacognitive skills to both develop and deepen comprehension of increasingly complex texts, unquote. So this is about annotation, right? But learning how to annotate and what to annotate is not something students get on their own. It's a skill that needs to be carefully and thoughtfully developed. Our authors, Kylene Beers and Bob Probst, specifically developed the notice and notes sections that run throughout the student book so that every student gets an opportunity to make meaning of the text. Their protocol gives students practical strategies to make the text their own, strategies that they internalize and can use on state tests. Here we're showing a notice and note guiding question called a signpost to tell students to look for clues in the text as they read that will help them identify instances of words of the wiser, which is the idea that stories often have wise characters that give advice or insight about life to the main character. Using the point of view support here in the Teaching Pal, you can remind children that when they are reading and they find a wise character sharing advice in the story, they should stop to notice and note. And then even here in first grade, children are reading closely by underlining the sentence or sentences in their My Book that shows the advice Papa gives to the little chicken, and then writing daily in response to what they have read. So this writing is additional to what they will do in the writing workshop. So what's happening here? Students are asking and answering their own questions and doing their own work, part of that idea of fostering a culture of growth and helping every student to play a more purposeful role in their own learning. You will only see the unique close reading support of Notice and Note in Interreading Texas.